to my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing out there? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everything is good. Hope everything, y'all living well. Your families is good. Hopefully y'all staying out of trouble. I was over here just thinking about certain things. You know, I'm always reflecting, right? I'm always thinking about things. And I think that, like, I was over here looking at Malcolm X's legendary speech, The Ballot or the Bullet. And if you ain't watched that, I think you need to go check that out. If you've never seen The Ballot or the Bullet, you need to go check that out. But anyway, this brief live is about, I was just looking around, seeing social media, seeing Instagram, seeing a whole bunch of stuff. And I started thinking about social justice, right? Social justice. A lot of times we get into it, right? We think that social justice is the way. It's going to pave the way to, like, liberation. It's going to pave the way to, like, freedom. It's going to pave the way for us to have a better life. A lot of times we think like that. Make sure you like it so it can circulate. So a lot of people might be interested in that. But for example, like thinking about what's going on, like, this white man just went, shot up them Korean people or whatever they are, Asian, wherever they're from in Asia, right? And, like, people out here talking about it. People out here, I seen little tweets, people talking about, oh, this is what black people need to do to help the Asian community, or this is how you can help the Asian community. And, it's funny because, like, it's like every time there's something that happens with a different community, it's like black people be running, you know what I'm saying? Like, running to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't even like using terminologies like that, you know what I'm saying? But black people, they never fail. Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? We so quick to try to show, when you get a job, when you get like a certain position, when somebody give you a little authority, you see the black people, right? They be trying to show the boss, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, damn. Like, we always, all the time, we feel like we gotta prove ourselves. All the time, we sit here and, like, whether we get that supervisor position, whether, we become whatever we become, that we become in some type of authority, we become a CEO, you become a executive, it's always the same thing, right? Like, you feel like you gotta prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when a situation happens to a different community, we be running. Like, we feel like we gotta show people, like, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. How do you feel about it? I don't know. I didn't really get to, like, I don't know exactly what he said. I didn't get to it, but, like, one thing I would say about social justice is a facade. It's a facade, right? It's fake. It's like this idea that keeps us dormant, right? Like, we feel like we're doing something. We joined these nonprofit organizations. I worked at a nonprofit organization for 3 years, right? And I thought I was doing something. I thought I was actually helping my people. I thought I was really, like, yeah, like, I'm really bringing some change, right? But at some point in time, I realized, like, am I really bringing change? Am I really doing something different? Am I really reaching the people in the ghettos, in the hood, like where I came from, in the communities, like the people that look just like me, the people that have lived the life just like me, right? Or walk certain paths just like me. Am I really reaching them? And the reality is, and was, that I was not really reaching them. Your thing. Thanks, I appreciate it. Word. Make sure y'all like the video. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Definitely. I appreciate the love and support. I love it. So I realized at some point in my life, throughout those 3 years, at the end of it, I was like, am I really reaching out to the people that I want to reach out to? Because sometimes we get into the social justice world. Thanks, I appreciate it. Sometimes we get into the social justice world and we think we doing something. Jihu Dunda, how long were you in prison for? I was in prison for 7 years. I'm 29 now. So I went in when I was 18. But thanks, I appreciate the money and the support. I appreciate everything you guys do for me, the likes, the shares, everything. So, at some point in time, you ask yourself, am I really reaching the people who I need to reach, right? And a lot of these nonprofit organizations, they take money from the people. They ask for donations. They feel the money that they get, oftentimes, it fills the salary, right? It's about you're paying people. The more employers you got, the more you got to pay people. So a lot of these organizations, they ask for money, they ask for donations. And a lot of times that covers salary, right? A lot of times it covers salary and it covers whatever else they're doing, right? Now, if you're asking for social workers, if you're asking for lawyers, if you're asking for whatever positions that you have available, this is oftentimes where the money is going to. And then there's some organizations who, peace. Then there's some organizations who keep money, right? There's some organizations who do funny stuff with the money, right? And you got to understand something. A lot of these organizations, they pay money to get the best grant writers in the game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this is the situation with the organization that I was in. I'm just telling you how the game go. Like, a lot of these organizations pay top money to get the best grant writers in the game. So they write their stuff a certain way. You know, they write it a little pretty. It looks a little neat because it keeps the money rolling in, right? Like I could write like, yeah, and the way they write things is like they'll write it a little vague, right? So it's like they're not clear, they're not specifically telling you exactly what they're doing with the money, but they write something ambiguous and something that is open that leaves it up to your interpretation. You know what I'm saying? Like what exactly is going on. So they slick, they smart. So the whole point is even that, right? Even in school, when you go to school and they talk about social justice, right? Social justice is encompassing like, oh, mass incarceration, right? Like you got people that talk about prison abolition, right? That which doesn't make no sense. Like they talk about closing prisons, closing jails, and then it's like, and what we gonna do after that? Then when you ask them what we gonna do after that, they be like, oh, we gotta think about it. We gotta figure it out. Or maybe we need more social workers. We need more therapists. We need more of this. We need more of that. And then it's like, come on, like, so where we gonna put the people who are committing crimes? Where we gonna put the people? You know, a lot of the shit that they be saying sometimes don't make no sense, right? And then you have movements like the LGBTQ, right? Like, so this is all these things are encompassing social justice. Then you got the LGBTQ movement, and they have their little stories, and they have their little not damn, the word escapes me, but they have their own little like mission statement. They have their own little agenda. They have their own little whatever they're trying to feed you, whatever their history is. But this is the things that they're teaching us in school, right? They teach us about this. They teach us about that. They teach us about the women's movement. They teach us about all these movements. But the funny thing is, we don't really talk about black things, right? Like the black issues or the black condition or the least things that are talked about when we talk about social justice. So I feel as though like a lot of movements are eclipsing. A lot of these movements spring about to kind of like eclipse, to kind of like shadow, you know what I'm saying, the black movements. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, yeah, like, you know, I mean, to me, if you ask me, I say the Nation of Islam has something to do with the killing of Malcolm X. You know, of course, they're going to say the CIA did it, the FBI. I'm not saying that the FBI wasn't watching Malcolm. I'm not saying that the CIA wasn't watching him. All I'm saying is that I believe they both have something to do with the death of Malcolm X. And, you know, and I'm just saying, and I'm not saying Elijah Muhammad sent the hit, but, you know, at the same time, like, I'm not saying he didn't indirectly, you know, and again, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody and their beliefs. I'm just saying that, like, anyway, that's just Malcolm X situation, right? Hold on. But I'm reading the comments. The easiest way to frustrate a progressive. Exactly. So that's the thing, right? They talk this politics stuff, and then when you ask them, so what we gonna do next? You know, like they talk about close the prisons, close the jails, and then what we gonna do next? How do we combat the people? Because look, to be honest, I've been to prison myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a prison abolitionist. I don't believe that we don't need prisons and jails. At the end of the day, there are some people out here who are far gone. There are some people out here who will not stop, who are trying to cause pain to everybody and their mother, who are hurting, and who are out here running the streets with no regards and no remorse. And and a lot of times the people who say, I don't believe in, we prison abolitionists, it's people that have never had to confront that. It's people that never had to lose themselves. It's people that never had to do anything, never had to hold a gun, never had to shoot people, never had to do certain things to protect themselves and their family. It's the people that are often so far removed that be sitting here on some political ideology talking about like, we don't need jails, we don't need prisons. And you never was in there to like deal with these situations, right? And then a lot of times people will be like, oh, we don't need police. and they some of the people that will call police as soon as something happened to them. So a lot of the, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like a lot of the shit is a facade. A lot of the shit is not real, and they feed it to us, and a lot of us believe it. We internalize it. And don't get me wrong, when I say it's fake, I'm not saying that everybody in the movement is fake. There's no social movement. Can't ever 6-1 thing. Definitely. Every time something new come up. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Every time it's a new thing, right? It's a new movement. And at the end of the day, these nonprofit organizations work just like them other corporate organizations. They all competing for money. They all be trying to, some of them be trying to bash each other. Like, I'm better than that one, and we doing this over here, and they not doing that. So it's a lot of that competition for money. A lot of them are getting money from the same foundations, from the same people, you know what I'm saying? And again, this is a tax write-off for like the rich, right? For some corporations, for some foundations. So at the end of the day, it's like everybody's washing their hand, right? Like it's like, oh, I'm gonna donate to you. You're not really gonna do shit for them people. And then at the end of the day, we both win. I get a tax write-off, you get money, you get paid, you get your salaries, and we all win, and nothing gets accomplished. And I think like this is the goal, and this is the mindset. A lot of these young kids are going to college, and they think they're gonna create some type of change, right? They get into these classes, they get into these careers, and then somewhere along the lines they realize like, damn, I wasted my time. Like I wasted 5-10 years thinking I was gonna change something, and you really didn't change nothing. So I think that's why I kind of like moved away from the nonprofit sector, and I'm just kind of like trying to like reinvent myself. Like I'd rather be my own consultant and go into facilities, right, and give advice and get paid for my advice. That's what I'd rather do. At the end of the day, I'd rather just get paid for my expertise, my advice, how to create certain programs, how to do certain things, than sit here and create a nonprofit organization and have to do the dance because you got to do the dance to get money. Make sure y'all like the video so it can circulate. You have to do the dance to get money because at the end of the day, a lot of people have ideas, but they don't got the bread. So you got to sell your ideas to somebody. Somebody got to give you money. And then once somebody gives you money, they control you in a sense. Like, for example, let's think about Black Lives Matter. You know, people want to do it. You know what I'm saying? For example, definitely policing our own communities is gonna be a task. We're gonna need fearless people. We're gonna need people who are gonna be putting their lives on the line. Because at the end of the day, we got to realize everybody in the hood does not want change. People in the hood are comfortable selling that poison to our people. Some people in the hood are comfortable taking life from some of our people. So it's a whole different ideology. You got people who are not going to just let you tell them to live different. Like, and those people are going to fight for theirs. So you're going to need people who's going to be willing to go against these people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality. Yeah, it's definitely running on a hamster wheel. For example, I'll tell you this. Black Lives Matter. Everybody loves them. Everybody's is so like, I feel like people just don't want to give up hope. So they just believe, right? They just be like, oh, they're the next best thing we got, right? But think about this, right? Out of all the money they raised, and I want y'all to go do some homework. Exactly. I want y'all to go do your homework. Out of all the money Black Lives Matter raised, I want you to go see how much money they actually spent to put back into our communities. How much money they actually spent to improve the living or the livelihood of black folks. I want y'all to go look it up. Don't listen to me. Don't sit here and listen to what I tell you. I want you to go look up, out of all the money they raised, how much money was put back into the community. I'm saying, go look it up. You don't gotta listen to me. Go look it up. Go look up where their money goes. Go look up what they do with their money, right? Who they support the most. Who's really benefiting from the money that they are putting up. Go look it up. You ain't gotta listen to me, but at the end of the day, people support organizations who don't do shit for the black movement. There ain't no black movement. There ain't no strictly black movement for the black folks. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. When you had the Panther Party, it was about black issues, and it was about strictly black, and it was about capitalist America, dismantling capitalism. Today, these black movements be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's about, oh, we got to worry about the gay people. We got to worry about the women. We got to worry about this. All of that could fall on the black agenda, right? Because at the end of the day, look, if a person is gay, who gets more oppressed? A gay white person or a gay black person? A gay black person. If women are oppressed, who gets oppressed more? The white woman or the black woman? The black woman. So at the end of the day, the root of the issues is still black. Like, and I think that like that's what a lot of people don't get. Like a lot of people just get like, oh no, we just gonna do our own little gay thing. We're gonna do our own little woman thing. We're gonna do our own little and look. And then there's no organizations for black men, right? So you got all these organizations, and then there's like, oh, the women's got this and the men got that, and then they be trying to make it seem like the Black Panther Party was just some strictly man shit. Like it was just some strictly like for the man. Like, you know, and this is the divisiveness, right? That the people have put in. This is why we argue and we bicker with each other and we compete with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, a lot of money goes to salaries. Let me tell you this. The Black Panther Party, when they was doing whatever they was doing, right? And they was doing the free breakfast programs. They was doing the free clinics. They was doing donating, you know, paying people's bail. They was doing a whole. Let me tell you something, man. This is why I always say the Black Panther Party is forever going to be the best group that ever did it. And you know what's crazy? They left a foundation for us to follow, and we do not follow it. You know, we choose to do something different, thinking that we're gonna get better. We're not gonna get better. We're not gonna get better. You know, and this is the things that I be trying to explain to people, because look, they did all of this with less money. They didn't raise 90 million. They didn't raise 20 million. Like they did all of this with less money. A lot of stuff that they did it with less money. And if you look at how they was living, they didn't have like some of these organizers today, they driving the latest car. You know what I'm saying? They living in a nice crib. And look, I ain't mad at them. I ain't a hater. I'm just saying, look at the ethics. Look at the morality, right? Just look at, you know, and there's nothing wrong with being comfortable. I'm saying it's nothing wrong with being comfortable, but some of the Panthers, they shacked up together. They used to be living together. They used to be staying in the same crib. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't driving, they was being driven around. Like they was sharing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they understood the sacrifice that needs to be made. You know what I'm saying? For the betterment of the people. They understood the sacrifice. We don't do that. I don't know. I need my own space. I can't be shacked up with nobody. I need to have my own crib. I need to have my own car. That's cool. You want your own crib. You want your own little apartment. You want your own car. But it's like, yo, you ain't have to go buy a 2021 car. You ain't have to go get every year you get it renewed. You know what I'm saying? With what money? With the money that you paying yourself from the donation. Like this is the facts. This is the facts. You know what I'm saying? This is peace. What the blood clot? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that like when we just think about like the leaders, when we think about the mindset that a lot of these leaders have, it's like, come on, like who you leading? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we could talk about it. We could talk about exactly. That's the thing. And I went to this conference one time. And Glenn Martin was there. If y'all know who Glenn is, you know what I'm saying? Glenn Martin, he started Just Leadership USA. Just Leadership, they was one of the people that was talking about Close Rikers Island. They got so much money for Close Rikers Island. Thanks. I appreciate it, DJ. I'm gonna call you DJ because I don't want to mess up your name, but I appreciate it. But for example, with the Close Rikers Island campaign, right? Everybody was talking about Close Rikers Island. Everybody was talking about it's a violent place. Everybody was talking about we need to close it. We need this. We need that. You know how much money came to that organization for the Close Rikers campaign? So much money came to that organization, right? So my point is this. They sitting there talking about why they need to close Rikers Island because of violence and this and that and the third, right? But the reality is that violence did not start at Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? People end up at Rikers and they continue the beef that they had in the street. So they trying to blame a jail and the environment in the jail and not really get into the root causes of what causes that problem. So they propose, oh, we need to close the jail. We need to have jails in different boroughs closer to the families and all that bullcrap. At the end of the day, all you're doing is moving corruption from one building to another building. You think by moving people from Rikers Island to the 5 boroughs, you think you're changing the mindset of people? Exactly. You think You think by moving the people with a certain mindset to the 5 boroughs is gonna change anything? It's not. Make sure y'all like the video. You know, like they say, like you can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. Like it's the same mindset. And I think like I sit here and say this, right? Like y'all can't be serious. Like you think corrupt guards are gonna stop being corrupt guards because you moved them from Rikers Island to the 5 boroughs? It doesn't make sense. And you know what's so funny? Because humans are not creatures of logic. And that's just the reality, right? Humans are creatures of emotion. We're not creatures of logic. You know, we could be bamboozled, swayed anyway, depending on our emotions, right? How we feel. Exactly. The point is, beef starts in the block behind some stupid shit, right? You go to jail, you see them, it's lit. So for you to sit here and think that like violence has something to do with Rikers Island, people is violent in the neighborhoods. People is violent on the blocks. People is violent in the house. You know what I'm saying? Parents are violent with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Stepfathers, fathers, mothers abusing their children. They going out to the street hurt. They hurting other people. This is the cycle. This is what we're not getting at. This is what we're not getting at. But you sit here, but again, it's a campaign, right? This is how you bring money in. You put up a false campaign. You said we're gonna close Rikers. You write some nice little thing around it, and then everybody donates. Like, yeah, we need to close Rikers. So you know what I told them? I went to the little thing they did at Hunter College, and I said, I don't believe that y'all want to close prisons. I told them I don't believe that y'all want to close jails. I don't believe that y'all want to end mass incarceration, because at the end of the day, all of y'all are re-entry organizations that get money because of this problem. And that's what I told them. I said, all of y'all get money because of this problem. And you think I'm going to believe that y'all want to close Rikers? You think I'm going to believe that y'all want to close prisons and y'all getting money? Y'all getting money. A lot of y'all got jobs only because this is a problem. Y'all, like, that's the facts. A lot of people got jobs only because there's a certain issue. So what happens when that issue no longer exists? What happens? Well, it's only certain people who can transition to a different job and do something differently. So I think at the end of the day, like, it feeds certain people, it keeps their belly full, you know. So when people try to say like, oh, I want to close jails, I want to close prisons, and you've been working in jails and prisons for 20 years, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you. So, and that's not everybody. Again, some people can transition, some people can do something different, but a lot of people are not trying to transition. A lot of people are not trying to do nothing different. A lot of people are happy with their paycheck. So a lot of these movements, and this is what I mean by a lot of these movements, it's a lot of bullshit. It's not really getting to the root. It's really not going to solve nothing. It's just a little band-aid, you know, or it looked like we doing something, you know. It looked like we doing something. It looked like we prescribing you some medication for your ills, for your pains. You know, it's like the medication they give us, right? The medication that the doctors give you usually affects another body part. You notice it treats one thing and then it affects another body part. And this is kind of like what's going on. It's like, oh, we're going to give you this, but then we're not going to give you something for that. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to keep coming back to us. And like the hamster wheel, like somebody said in the comments, the hamster wheel, right? Keep spinning. So I'm gonna get into other movements. Right now I just wanted to like talk about it on the broad thing. I'm definitely gonna probably speak about on the prison abolition thing more. I'm definitely gonna speak on the homosexual agenda a little more. I'm definitely gonna speak on the women's movement a little more. This is just like a little brief introduction. You know, I'm baby feeding y'all into it, because it's like all of these things encompass social justice movements, and all of these things are part of like the things that we're facing, right? And all of these movements, I think the goal and the agenda of all of these movements is to bury the black movement, the black agenda, right? Which we don't really have a black movement. So it's to bury this. It's also, and I feel like in the same way, it's to bury the alpha male. In the same way, it's to kind of like the eradication of the assertive black men. Like, they fear assertive men. And I think like this is what these movements are doing, right? Like they're stepping on the black agenda, and they know the only ones that could really pick up the black community is the black men. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to our sisters, no disrespect to the women who are doing stuff, because I believe the black woman is the nucleus to the black community. I believe the black woman has been the nucleus. The black community has been running on the matriarch for years, for centuries, right? But the thing is this. those same matriarchs, when they encounter an assertive black man, they don't want to give up the position no more. They don't want to give up the power no more. You know, a lot of people talk about like, oh, if you could lead, I would let you lead. But the reality is some women have gotten comfortable wearing the pants, you know, and they don't want to give up the pants. So now when a woman don't want to give up the pants, you have friction. You know what I'm saying? The man that is assertive, that is trying to recapture who he is, his kingship, that is trying to lead his people can't lead. Why? Because the woman don't want to give up the pants. And you know what? White supremacy is a force behind that woman, right? Behind that black woman, because they don't want the man to resume his position of power. And as long as we have that, and I don't care who don't like it, as long as we have that, we're not going to have liberation. I'm sorry. The sisters is not going to bring liberation. The sisters in the forefront are not going to bring liberation to black people. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people are not going to like it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just that. Like, until we get it together, you know what I'm saying? Until we get it together and you let the leadership go to who the leadership belongs to, and you aid and you assist and you do what you do, we're not going to get liberation. And they know that. And this is why they're empowering the black woman above the black men. Like I said this in another video, the black woman is the only woman who makes more money than her man. The only woman. The only. It's not because you're smarter. I said this in the last video. It's not because you're smarter. It's not, and I'm not saying that you're dumb, but it's not because you, if you think it's just because of you, because you're smarter and you know, you're brighter than all the other women. And if you think that's the reason why you make more money than the black man, then I don't know what to tell you, sis. But there's a reason why they empower you more over the black men, right? Because then you start to feel yourself. Then you start to talk down on him. You don't recognize his leadership qualities because he don't have the money. I posted a video about Dr. Umar. A lot of people don't like Dr. Umar. And he's a little weird. But what he be saying sometimes, you got to go back and research what he's saying, because he gives you information that you can go research. It's out there in the open. He gives you information that you can go research. A lot of y'all just don't want to do research. Like, y'all want everything handed to y'all. Y'all want all the information handed to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to encourage us to go do some work, do some research, read certain things, because they're attacking us in many different ways. And that's why, you know, look right now, everybody talking about this Asian stuff. I could name countless situations, right, where people mind their business, you know what I'm saying, where all these other communities mind their business and stood to the side. I could name countless situations where something happened in the black community, something happened to black folks, and ain't nobody run. Nobody run to our aid. Nobody run to support us. Nobody was sitting here. You know, don't get me wrong. It's a certain few people from some of these communities who might say something, but for the most part, they're not running for our aid, man. Everybody is focused on them, except us. Everybody is focused on them, except us. How long? How long? And this is why I say, like, the blame culture. This is when the blame culture comes in, because we could be doing stuff right now. We could be doing stuff right now. We could be doing stuff right now. But you know what? People don't want to give up their time. People don't want to give up their funds. People don't want to give up they this, they that. Like, we just have so much friction. At the end of the day, look, we don't have to be doing nothing on the big scale. We don't got to be out here trying to save the world. But just change yourself. And this is what I tell people. I used to suffer from that complex of thinking I was going to save the world, you know? Change my mind, man. Like, it's not about saving the world. You can't save nobody if you ain't saved. You can't save nobody if you ain't got your shit right. You know what I'm saying? And once you got your shit right, put your family on. Put your people on. Put your family on. Don't worry about everybody else, man. Don't worry about the world. You change the world by changing you. Be the change you want to see in the world. Change yourself. You don't read, you don't like to read, start reading. Even if it's one sentence a day, even if it's one page, start reading. You're going to learn. I'm telling you, your brain, when your brain stretches, you know what I'm saying, you can't help but to move different. Once you learn certain things, you can't just go back and be like, you know what? Like, it's hard to, like, erase that. That's why it's hard for us to stop doing the stupid shit that we do. But that's what I'm telling you, like, change yourself. Once you change yourself, help your family. After you change yourself, go help your family. Make sure y'all like the video, man, because this is like real shit. After you change yourself, change your family, man. Help your family. My mother never used to believe in police brutality. My mother never used to believe me when I used to tell her the police used to harass me. She never used to believe me. She used to be like, the police ain't gonna lock you up for no reason. The police ain't gonna go and violate you for no reason. She used to say that to me. You know how hurt I used to be when my mother didn't believe me that the police locked me up for no reason? I used to be hurt. Sometimes I used to cry. Like, yo, this shit is crazy. She don't believe what I'm telling her. She believed the police over her son. You know what I'm saying? That shit used to hurt my soul when she didn't believe me. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Today, she knows. She get it now. She get it now. She understand, like, wow. Like, these dudes, these motherfuckers be out here violating our children. She didn't get that. She didn't understand that. But the point is this. Once I knew better, and I knew how to communicate, and I knew how to transmit that information, I was able to transmit that information to my family, because a lot of our families don't know better. A lot of our families believe the media. A lot of our families believe what they are fed. So we have to be the ones to bring that information to them. But if we don't know it, we can't help them. And this is how shit changes gradually. You got to do shit in your household, man. Stop sitting here and blame. We can sit here and blame. Look, for example, if you driving on the road, you got your car on the road, and there's a pothole in the middle of the road, and you drive into that pothole. You know what I'm saying? If you drive into that pothole in the middle of the road, you could, after that, and your wheel and your tire go flat, now you got to sit here and spend some money. You got to call, I forgot what them people call, that you call them, come help you with your car. Now, you got a scenario, right? You could sit here and blame the white man for not fixing the road, or you could have swerved around it. You could have swerved around it. Sometimes I get it. You don't see it. But guess what? After you seen that pothole that first time and you drive back down that street, you know what I'm saying? You need to be more aware of where that pothole is at. You know what I'm saying? And now you need to be more aware of the road to see if there's other potholes. So this is the example that I'm trying to give, man. Some of us, we keep driving on the same pothole and fucking up our car, and then we want to blame the white man for not fixing the road. Come on, man. We're not going to get nowhere doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, and hopefully that was a good example, because that's what we do. We keep running over the same pothole, and we keep blaming the city for not fixing the street. Well, we could have swerved around it. We could have been more vigilant. Oh, okay, I peeked. I'm looking for potholes now. We could have been more vigilant, but so when I say that, I'm not saying that there aren't certain obstacles, there aren't certain things that they're doing. Definitely. But, you know, that's because they buy into the narratives that they fed. They buy into the news. They buy into the media. So, again, like, we have to be the agents of change. We have to change ourselves. We have to change our families. And then raise strong, conscious children. And the world will change slowly. The world will change slowly. Trust me. It might not be as quick as we wanted to, but it will change. It will change when we change ourselves. When we change ourselves and we change our families, and then you change your close friends. Now think about this. I came home, I started doing different things. You know what I'm saying? And people tell me not to go around my old friends, my old homies, the people that might still be doing negative things. And I don't believe in that, because I'm doing something different. I could be that change, the agent of changing their lives, because I'm doing something different. So I could tell them, yo, this is how you could do certain things. This is how you could change certain things. This is how you could shift certain things. You know, so we need those people in our lives. And some of our friends need them. Some of our friends never. To a lot of my homies, I might be the breath of fresh air. I might be the one that showed them things differently. And you might be that person too. You never know how you can change somebody's life. And I think that, like, you know, we should always be working. Like, you know, we all got that homie who don't want to change, who don't want to listen. But, you know, sometimes you got to give them little things and just, all right, bro, just read this. Yo, what you think about this? We just got to do the little things, man. You just got to do the little things. But everything starts with the self. It's easier said than done. You don't got to just run out there, try to be Superman, trying to be Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit start right there in your crib with you, in your mind. Got to change your thoughts. Like Malcolm X said, and this is what I'm going to leave y'all with. He said you have to change your philosophy. And philosophies is ideas of how we think, right? And how we view the world. So the first thing he said is you got to change your philosophy. And he said, and after you change your philosophy, it will change your thought pattern. And once you change your thought pattern, it will change your attitude. Your attitude starts to change. You start to move different. And once your attitude changes, you change your behavior patterns. I'm saying everything comes from the mind, man. Philosophy, thought pattern, attitude. Then you change your behavior. Behavior is a little more about action. And after the behavior changes, then you can go about action. Once you change your own behavior, you can go out and tell your family certain things. You can go out and tell your friends certain things. You can go out and tell the community certain things. That's because you did the work already. You changed the way you think. You changed the way you view yourself. You changed the way you view the world. Now you change the way you think, right? You change the way you think about people. Your thoughts become action. So now you think before you do certain things. You know what I'm saying? This Malcolm X. It's recorded. It's on YouTube. It's there. We could go watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the link in the description of the ballot and the ballot or the bullet. That's a great speech by Malcolm X. And I believe that's what got him killed, right? But that's after he separated from the nation. The ballot or the bullet. Y'all gotta go watch that, man. Also, if y'all want my Instagram and all of that stuff, it's on the description below. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easier that way because y'all can just click the link. It'll take y'all straight to my Instagram. It takes y'all to my Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. I can teach exactly. You can't teach nobody about their credit. You know what I'm saying? My credit in the 700s, baby. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying? Look, that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't sit out here and dress flashy. You know what I'm saying? People will call me bummy. They could be saying I wear the same thing over and over. And I gladly wear it. You know what I'm saying? I wear it to the ground. I wear my black shirts till they get ashy. You know what I'm saying? I wear it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? My bank account looking nice. You know what I'm saying? Looking real nice. You know what I'm saying? Rainy day money on deck. You heard? I got money for a few rainy days. I don't got to sit here and show money. I don't got to sit here and do none of that. My credit is good. I worked on my credit. I worked on things I needed to work on. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. At the end of the day, I'm trying to secure myself. My parents didn't give me nothing. They taught me morals. They taught me values. They taught me those little things. But they didn't give me a head start. I didn't come into no money. I didn't come into a car. I didn't come into a house already. I didn't come into nothing under my name. I have to build that. I still haven't built it, but I have to build that. So my goal is to leave my children and leave my descendants with something, with a head start. You know what I'm saying? I got to leave my descendants with a head start because I didn't get a head start. So I got to leave them with books. I got to leave them with money. I got to leave them with whatever written knowledge. I got to leave them with something because I didn't get nothing. And Tupac said this, right? He said, you know how hard it is for an 18-year-old or 21-year-old black man to create his empire, to create a legacy? It's hard. I'm saying it's hard, man. It's hard for the black man. A lot of times, not trying to shit on the sisters, but a lot of times the sisters just be, all you got to do is sit pretty and wait for somebody to come marry you and boom, you belong, you know what I'm saying? You get married to somebody, y'all build something together, you know what I'm saying? But as a man, it's like you're responsible for your own empire. Cause damn near most of the time, ain't no sister gonna come to you and put you on a pedestal and help you create your empire. I mean, they do aid us, but at the end of the day, aid you. They aid you. They don't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it go. Like, you're the man in your family, right? You have to do certain things. So with that being said, like Malcolm said, man, you change your philosophy first. Changing your philosophy will change your thought pattern. Once your thought pattern change, you change your attitude. Once your attitude change, you will change your behavior. Once your behavior change, then your actions will become easier to change. And with that formula, you can't fail. So hopefully that's something good, something that inspires you, that move y'all to go do something, move us as a people to be better in our homes. It's a lot of shit going on around us, but look, that shouldn't stop us from being better us. So peace. Y'all be safe out there.